Hello, thanks for tuning in. We've been talking about managing emotions, and this is part 4 of the series we've been running. If you've missed any at all, I encourage you to go back and watch it just to get a sense of what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the STAR methodology, and this is a simple acronym that I came up with to help us manage emotions. And this is one that I use frequently when I find myself in an emotionally charged situation. So just to give you a quick recap, STAR is an acronym. S means just to stop. When you find yourself in an emotionally charged situation, catch yourself and stop. T is to think. Think about what just happened. Think about what you're about to do and ask yourself if this matters, right, in the grand scheme of things. If what you're about to do, if what just happened to you matters, how would it impact you, how would it impact your life, tomorrow or next week or 3 weeks. And we often realize that we act or we blow up situations more than they really ought to be. So when you find yourself in that situation, think through it. The next step in managing emotions is to assess, is to look at your options and ask yourself whether the course of action you're about to take is the right one. And I shared an example last week of how I missed it with a particular situation. I completely lost it. I didn't pause to think through my options. I allowed my feelings to get in the way, and I reacted in a way that I shouldn't have. Today I want to talk about the last step in the managing emotion series, and that is the R. R just simply means how we respond. Notice I didn't say react, right? Reaction and responding are two different things. When you react, you're flying over the handle, you're acting based on your feelings, and you're not really acting rationally, right? But when you respond, you've had a chance to stop, you've had a chance to think through it, you've had a chance to assess it, and now you're actually choosing the right response to that situation, right? So that's really what the STAR methodology is all about. So a quick and simple and effective way to really help you manage your emotions. I typically write it down on a sticky pad and have it in front of me in the office on my wallet. That helps remind me of the steps that I need to take when I find myself in an emotionally charged situation. Stop, think, assess, and respond. The reason, though, that a lot of us struggle with this, it's because there is always a struggle between the rational mind and the emotional mind, right? That the mind is made up of two competing parts, if you will. The rational mind has to do with the thoughtfulness, and then the emotional mind has to do with the feelings, right? So there is this struggle of whether we need to be thoughtful or whether we need to choose our feelings. And this is a kind of a heart and head dichotomy, which operate in really, really tight harmony. I'm getting a little bit scientific here with you, but I'm driving a point home here. The part of the mind that causes us to react in emotionally is the limbic brain, which is part of the amygdala. Don't get bogged down by the scientific terms. So this really causes the neural hijacking, which causes us to react emotionally, right? Something happens, you get upset, and you fly out the handle without even having a chance to think about it. That is the limbic brain or the hijacking that's taking place from that limbic brain. And then you also have the neocortex, which is the thinking brain, and that's the part that really causes us to think through an option before we respond, right? So, right, the human mind is a very complex organ, right? And that's why we find ourselves struggling when we go through these types of things. It's normal, and that underscores why we have to be really intentional in managing emotions. When you leave it to chance, when you leave it to the mind, when you leave it to the feelings, we're always going to be acting in ways that often gets us in trouble. But once we're aware of this fight or how complex this is, it puts us in a much better situation to manage it better. And that's really what this is all about. So I trust that you've gotten something significant out of this lesson. And the next time you find yourself in an emotionally charged situation, before you fly out the handle, stop, think, assess, and respond. Stop, think, assess, and respond. And when you do this continually, you would find that you become better and better at helping manage your emotions and also the emotions of others. My friends, don't leave this to chance, because as I said in the very first video, relationships are destroyed, careers are destroyed. We put a lot of things at risk when we just say things as they will and let the chips fall where they may, when we just react the way we feel, when we don't take time to stop, to think, to assess the situation before we're responding. Please subscribe to this video, comment, let me know how this has helped you, and as always, thank you for watching, and think on these things.